Oh my god, it's...
What's up, people of the internet? My name is Hondro, and I'm seated here again today with Forrest, aka Funky Dude One, and we are here for episode 11 of Loco's PoGo podcast. PoGo stands for Pokemon Go.
In case you didn't know.
I don't. In case you didn't know.
Here's the flow to let you know.
Fashodo. Click on.
We got bars.
Pikachu?
Son. We got bars. It is Halloween.
Heck yeah, bro.
Today, favorite holiday ever. Halloween.
All right. Cool. We got a nice little holiday hat Pikachu, Halloween witch hat, just chilling across the street. So we're gonna catch that. So let's get right into it.
Okay.
First up, starting tomorrow, we are getting a new month. We are leaving Water Month and Suicune behind us, and we are getting Fall Bug Month, which I'm sure that they will filter in 15 other special events that will neutralize all bug things going
like
forward.
a motham to the flames. Here it comes.
Just like they did with doing the psychic event and the Halloween event and whatever other event they did in between that completely negated all water type field research. I'm
so true.
I'm
so
sure
true.
November will just be as little bug event as possible.
Well, there's only a few bug types anyway. I was talking to you a little bit about this of what's left for unreleased bug types, and there's very few that are left. We already know Shedinja is coming in the breakthrough.
Yep.
Every 7 days you'll be able to get one of those.
Well, as long as you're doing a field research.
Yeah, as long as you don't miss a day. I will say I'm still bitter. I think it's a missed opportunity that they could have done Shedinja in a different type of quest this month.
Well, what it seems like, so let's talk about this a little bit. What it seems like is that because Ninjask is the base form, right?
No, Nincada is the base form.
Okay, so Nincada is the base form. So it seems like they're gonna, because when you evolve a Nincada, it becomes both in the core games. Well, I'm gonna let you understand this part better. So
yes.
Nincada is the base form, is what you guys need to know.
So Nincada is the base form in the main series games. It evolved at level 20. But in the main series games, we all know, obviously, parties and everything work differently than this game. You're only allowed to have 6 Pokemon total at any given time. The way that you were able to obtain Shedinja was if you evolved a Nincada in your party while you had a blank spot open and a Pokeball in your bag. So if you had a space for it, when you evolved the Nincada, you would get Ninjask and Shedinja at the same time.
So basically, one Pokemon would become 2, and Shedinja is basically just the husk that Nincada actually sheds.
It's based off the cicada Pokemon, and here in Arizona, cicadas are infamous. They're the big buzzing ones that are everywhere. They often shed their skin and leave. You'll see those on trees all the time.
So let's talk about Shedinja's actual ability, and because this is a Pokemon that only has 1 HP.
Has 1 HP, but it does have an ability called Wonder Guard, which prevents it from being damaged by any move that's not super effective against it. This also doesn't take into account status ailments and or things on the battlefield that you can lay out.
Sure.
As far as like rocky stones and things that are in the game. But for instance, Shedinja is not weak against, I think, water or something. It's bug type, so whatever it's not weak against, if you tried to attack it with even Hydro Pump, whatever, it wouldn't do any damage. But if you attacked it with Flamethrower, it would die instantly.
Sure.
So it was good in some cases, and people learned how to manipulate it using other Pokemon and skill swapping and giving it different abilities that help it. But in this game, obviously, we don't have abilities, so it's not quite going to be the same, and we still don't know if it's still going to have 1 HP or not.
So do we think that's why they at this point have gone through and adjusted because everything Gen 4 that HP CP adjustment is in place. So everything that is Gen 4, the HP adjustments are already in place. So does that mean we're probably going to get, because I believe the calculation gives everything, like even the base multiplier, the minimum you could have is like 50.
Well, and that could be another reason why I think them putting these quote unquote problem Pokemon into a breakthrough situation is how they could program that to be different than everything else. They can program Shedinja to only have 1 HP still. Like it could be one of those that's exempt from that HP buff or from any.
We'll just have to wait. We'll just have to wait and see.
We'll know by tomorrow, obviously, how that's going to work. But as I said, my big sticking point on that is because of the way that Shedinja came about by being evolved from a Nincada. It seems like a missed opportunity that they could have done a task that was just evolve a Nincada, and it would give you your Ninjask like normal, and then you would click on it, and the encounter would be Shedinja.
Oh, okay.
And then they could have put a different Pokemon in the breakthrough boxes.
Yeah, because it seems weird to give us this useless thing as a breakthrough.
Well, because you know that they're going to be bug type quests coming out. They
could have given us Pinsir because we're not only getting. So they confirmed, obviously, the Shiny Caterpie family, which is cool.
That starts on the 1st as well.
So that'll start, and I'm sure Caterpie will probably be one of the... It'll probably be spawning more often, as well as...
A reward
for something pretty basic. I mean, you might even be able to get Butterfree as a reward for something. But yeah, we'll just have... So the Shiny Caterpie family is pretty cool. I like the yellow... I like all the color changes are cool. I really like the color differences between the normal and the shiny forms. But then also, because of the Safari Zone in Taiwan, that they announced literally back on September 30th, that we're getting Shiny Pinsir starting tomorrow as well.
Through the 5th. So that's only for 5 days. Well, 5 days for increased rates of it.
Yeah, 5 days for increased spawning of Pinsir, but the shiny form will be in the game starting tomorrow.
So we already know of 2 new bug types that are getting shinies, which is good.
And Pinsir, because it mega evolves, that's why I was saying they should have done Pinsir as the breakthrough, because is it the only bug type that mega evolves?
No, Heracross.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Holy cow, if they had done Heracross.
But it's a regional.
I know
too,
it's a regional,
so it's
but
they need to
get rid of that.
I know.
They need to get rid of that because it's Gen 2. It's been out forever.
Well,
they need to eliminate Gen 1 and Gen 2 regionals right now.
They're gonna
those need to be gone.
They're gonna have to do it because Mime Jr. is coming out in eggs. We've already talked about this a couple times, where that's the baby form of Mr. Mime, and if that's a regional, then how is that going to happen? Yeah. But in general, so we've all the other bug types that are available right now, though, have been released. There's a few that are still left on this chart that you guys will see if you guys are watching the video. In the first few, we've already got Kricketot and Kricketune for this gen. Burmy.
Oh, these are pure. Okay,
those are
so
pure bug types.
Bug only. Okay.
This list is split up into 3. It's pure bug type, half bug type, and something else. But so we have the Caterpie family. We have Pinsir, Pineco, Wurmple. We have all those things released. Kricketot and Kricketune were already out. Burmy is the next one that's going to be in Gen 4 for a base form. That's what evolves. It has a split evolution. Not only does it have a split evolution, but it has 3 different forms.
Okay.
And the forms are based on the locale that it's caught in. So the trash cloak is if it's caught in a city-like environment. The sandy cloak was if it's in like a beach type or mountain type environment. And then the plant cloak was more in the woods if you caught it there. So that begs the question, is Burmy going to be with each of these types? Is it going to be in a different region? Or are they going to have them all over and different types are just going to be available?
When you say split evolution, what does that mean?
So split evolution in the fact that the base form can be male or female, and it has a different evolution based on if it's male or female.
Okay.
So it just like Ralts and Snorunt, all those things, it has another split evolution like that where it can go one of two ways. It's just a combination. So it's a really complex Pokemon because not only does it have 3 forms of the female, which turns into Wormadam, it only has 1 form of the male, thank God. So it can only turn into Mothim.
Okay.
And Mothim only has 1 form. So that's a little easier.
I'm guessing they won't give us this. Because based on how complicated that sounds, every other Pokemon that has been like that, they have not released.
Yeah, but it's one of the only other bug ones, because if we scroll down to the half bug type, I think going through here, if we get to Gen 4, which is further down, we're Nincada, Ninjask, all that stuff, Shedinja. Wormadam is the evolution,
okay,
and Mothim is the evolution of Burmy. And then the next one is Combee. Combee is another split evolution. Well, not really a split evolution. It's a weird one. If it's a male Combee, it can't evolve at all. If it's a female Combee, it can evolve into
become Vespiquen. Okay.
So,
and then we got Yanmega.
And then Yanmega, which I still think that they're holding off to do all the evolution ones that everybody's been preparing for anyway, because they're going to throw as much into raids as they can, get people to spend their passes, do all that to build up the candy they need for it. Wouldn't be surprised if Yanma is in raids starting on the 1st because it's bug month and they're trying to save up money for Yanmega, or save up candies for Yanmega. After Yanmega, the next bug types are Gen 5, so that's all there's left is those complicated ones, Combee and the Burmy evolutions. And then I think there's one other Pokemon that if you scroll down on this other list, it was Scoruppy, which is it evolves once, not a big deal, but I don't know how common it is because it's secondary typing bug, so I don't know if they're focusing on primary type bug or not. But there's only that was 4 or 5 different families left.
Really
so
not that
there's
much.
Not too
really
much
not
left.
that many bugs.
And they're complicated to
with their
evolutions
evolutions and female, male, and all that stuff. Okay.
So it'll be interesting to see on the 1st if any of those start spawning.
I'm imagining we're gonna get a lot of Weedle, a lot of Kakuna, a lot of Paris, a lot of Venonat. Some Scyther and Pinsir would be nice to have.
Ladybuzz probably return back again because they're not very common anymore, but they, at least in our area, they're not.
Spinnerax, we're gonna get a lot of.
There's a lot of things to fill in.
Ooh, but if we get more Pineco, I'm down for that, so we can get more shiny chance at that.
Yeah, Pineco.
I hope they don't do that. Evolve 3 things though, because that's too expensive. Those evolve 3 things are way too expensive as far as like candy goes, unless it's like evolve 3 Caterpie or Weedle, because those are only 12 candies each. I'd be okay with that. To get a chance for Pinsir or Pineco, I'd be down, or Wurmple, because Wurmple's 12 also.
Yeah. It's interesting to me because as we get further on, especially in the bug list too, it seems really heavily on this that a lot of the evolutions that come later in next generation and this generation are really complex.
Yeah.
Like there's the next one's a great example real quick, Carablast and Shelmet. In order to evolve them, you have to trade somebody that specific Pokemon. So Carablast has to be traded with Shelmet, and then they kind of combine and form hybrids of each other. Huh. In order to get their evolved forms.
They've never done the trading thing before, because like there's a ton of Pokemon that quote unquote needed to be traded just to be evolved, or that they would evolve once they were traded, like Kadabra, Haunter.
But would you put it past Niantic to complicate things?
Doesn't Machoke have to be traded just to become a champ? Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. I think they tested out the evolution items with Gen 2. They haven't done anything with evolution items for Gen 3. There's so many things that needed evolution items and stones in Gen 1 that they never introduced.
Gen 4 still has evolution items it needs. It still has special moves requirements that it needs. Like certain Pokemon have to know a specific move in order for it to evolve.
I don't think that they're going to get into that. They just, I don't know. It just seems they try to keep things as simple as possible because, I mean, let's face it. This game is designed for a casual player.
Oh, yeah.
It's not designed for somebody that has like an in-depth knowledge of Pokemon. Having an in-depth knowledge of Pokemon makes this game a lot easier to play when it comes to battling on gyms and battling in raids. But to be honest, there isn't a high barrier to entry as far as knowledge needed for this game in order to do any of those things.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it is excited to get, always new shiny families. So we've got at least 2 confirmed. We've got the Caterpie through Butterfree family. So Caterpie, Metapod, Butterfree, as well as Pinsir. And that all starts tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So
if you are saving up a breakthrough, do not claim it until after 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow.
Yeah, make sure, because if you open that breakthrough before 1 p.m., it will still be Suicune.
So if
and
you were
no
hoping
one,
to get
no one wants Suicune.
Yeah, if you're hoping to
Nobody.
max out on Shedinja, wait. I'm waiting. I know I'm going to wait until well after 1 o'clock to claim it.
Because... I thought about it. I thought about claiming, and then I was like, you know what? I didn't want to stop doing field research because once you hit your 7-day, you can't you can't claim anymore. That they need to fix that.
Yeah. Well, and you were also what 4 or 5 days away when this announcement came out. As far as like you would have had to wait a long time.
Yeah, I would have had to wait a full week.
For me, it's been waiting 1 day.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna wait the 1 day. It's fine.
So I've got to wait. It'll be the 3rd when I can open the box.
Okay.
So actually, does that mean I can still get 5 weeks in?
I don't think so. I think it'll put you at 4. I think 5 is if you literally start on the 1st. It evens out to be exactly
Saturday. I'll miss it by 1.
Yeah, the 1st or the 2nd are your only chances to get.
So if you open it, if you can claim your research on either the 1st or the 2nd for that 7-day task, you have a chance. Those are your 2 options to get 5 Shedinjas. But if you claim it on the 3rd or after, you can only get 4. Man, missed it by 1 day. I think I missed 1 day of research in October, so I think that cost me.
Well, I don't think that it's going to be a game changer anyway. Shedinja
it won't be.
There's so many workarounds to it, so you're not missing much.
Yeah.
But we'll see how they go.
It'll still be cool because I'm sure that's probably going to be the only way you can get that Pokemon.
For now, at least.
I would be shocked if they released it in any other fashion. But so that's basically all bug news.
That's the 1st through the 5th. All this is happening. Well, the 1st starts the month.
Well,
1st
yeah,
to the 5th is
starting the 1st
Taiwan event.
All the bug stuff.
But on the 4th,
the 3rd.
The 3rd.
The 3rd, we're getting our Gengar Day.
Gengar Day, another day, a la the legendary bird days that we had. Gengar will be available in raids for 3 hours that day with not only a shiny potential, but 2 exclusive moves.
Yep.
And I've
been walking my Gengar all month.
We're going to have to see, I guess, if it's still going to remain soloable to people.
It will not be.
Okay. I was like, but worst case scenario.
It will be tier 4 power. So it's weird because this is the first. So with the birds, they took them from tier 5 to tier 4 power levels as the raid boss. And then for Gengar, they're going from tier 3, which is a soloable Gengar, to tier 4 power level. So you'll need at least 2 trainers.
Not the end of the world. The 2 people, it's much more manageable if you don't have a big raid train going and you don't have a big city where there's a lot of people. If you have 2 people, 3 people, you should be able to take it down.
If you guys missed my video from yesterday, I actually went out and soloed a tier 3 Gengar yesterday morning, and then I talk about its best counters, and I'd go into specifics about like everything Gengar Day related. Obviously, we're going to talk about that again here. But But if you want to see like specific counters and things like that, check out my video from yesterday. That is Gengar, everything you need to know about Gengar Day.
Yeah, he's really good, guys. If you guys are listening to this, he's really good at posting videos when events are announced almost immediately. Me and him try to meet up as quick as possible after things are announced to do this podcast, but sometimes we don't always have the chance to catch it as it's like right then and there. So a good knowledge database to go to is this guy's channel. Watch some of those videos, but we can briefly cover, kind of surface level of Gengar Day, what the 2 exclusive moves are.
Does it actually show it in this post? Because their post here doesn't have it. I'm wondering.
I think it was on Twitter or something.
I know. Yeah, I know it's on Twitter, but I'm wondering if it's on here. Nope. Okay.
Nope. So it was purely on Twitter.
The 2 moves it's getting the quick attack Lick, which is a ghost quick attack, very low DPS, but it's very fast. And then the charge move it's getting is Psychic. It's a single bar Psychic attack. Obviously not ideal for a ghost and poison Pokemon to have Psychic. It doesn't really do it any good except against other ghost types. But Ghost is just as effective against ghost types as Psychic is. And since Gengar can learn Shadow Ball is a higher DPS move than Psychic is anyway. So it's kind of pointless for it to have Psychic. And Psychic was actually the move that was announced first. And people were like, why? So it seems like as a response to that, Niantic was like, okay, well, we'll also give it Lick then. Because obviously, myself and basically everybody I know of was hoping that we were going to get Shadow Claw back so that we could have Shadow Claw and Shadow Ball, which is, since Gengar's inception, has been its highest DPS combo of pure ghost type attacks, that is. So it was disappointing to see that Shadow Claw wasn't returning. However, Lick actually has potential to do higher DPS because it charges Shadow Ball faster. And since Shadow Ball is actually the move that is doing the majority of the damage, you can actually output more DPS based on how many times you can launch Shadow Ball. But it will be situational, as Shadow Claw is higher DPS, but it's a slower move. Lick is a faster move that charges Shadow Ball faster, but it does lower DPS. So it's very, very close. Comparable. It's very, very close, but yeah, Lick actually has potential to out-damage Shadow Claw, Shadow Ball in a lot of situations. And it also gives you the ability to dodge because it's such a fast move. Mm-hmm. It does give you the ability to dodge in battle, which will help keep Gengar alive, specifically during gym battles, not so much during raid battles, because charge moves in raid battles can still death glitch your Gengar, and Gengar's a glass cannon, so basically he can take like 1, maybe 2 charge moves before he gets knocked out anyway. So not great as far Gengar's just never been great in raids, but as a gym attacker, as like a specialty type of attacker for gyms, Gengar has always been, he's always been high DPS output. He's just a glass cannon, kind of like Alakazam and several others out there.
It's interesting, in my opinion, that they moved this, or that this is happening on the 3rd of November, and I think the only reason they did that is because of the mess up of Beldum Day in the Asia Pacific region. They had to essentially cancel their Beldum Day and had it rescheduled. Yeah. And they had it rescheduled to this past weekend, which was when the push notification went out to people saying this Saturday.
And that's why they said this weekend. Yeah.
So I think that was,
it was meant to be. It was meant to be Halloween weekend, which would have made sense for Gengar. It doesn't really make sense to push it, because then we would have gotten 40. Could you imagine getting 40 candies for every Gengar raid you did with pineapples? Because the one I caught yesterday, I did and caught it with the pineapple and got 40 candies.
Yeah, I mean
that's kind of a bummer. And the gas, I'm sure Shiny Ghastly and Haunter will be available once Gengar is released as well. That makes sense, because I was like, well, why does it say Why does it say this weekend when it's 2 weekends away?
Well, and again, it would have been better to have the Shiny Gasling Haunter released afterwards if there was still 4 days left in the event where you could hunt for shinies.
If there was still time to catch Gaslies.
It's an unfortunate series of events that happened. I am glad that they did this event, though, before the time change, because Daylight Savings Time hits on the 4th of November. Okay. So going forward, especially for us in Arizona, we don't have daylight savings time. We're the only place in the country that doesn't change our clocks.
Yep.
So all of our news going forward, instead of things starting at 11 a.m. or 1, it's going to be 12. So like Community Day will be 12 to 3. Okay. Because California and them fall back. Everybody falls back, which puts them an hour back, but we haven't changed. So it's
time zones.
I know. Time zones are really confusing. We will still be referring to everything as Pacific Standard Time, I guess.
So it'll be back to it'll be PST instead of PDT.
Which, whatever.
Yeah.
It's but I'm glad they did it there because, it's always weird to try to do everything shifted an hour when you're doing your raid days.
So these are the times here for the region. So Asia Pacific region, that's all of Asia, Australia, and probably New Zealand.
Yes,
I think so.
Yep.
You got between 12 to 3. Europe, Middle East, and Africa and India. You've got 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then the Americans in Greenland are 11 a.m. So that's North and South America plus Greenland, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So 3-hour windows, just like it was for all the bird days. You can expect to see Gengars on basically every gym, just like you did on the bird days, with your chance to catch the shiny with the exclusive moves.
Pay attention for shiny Gengar. It is very similar.
The sprite is so ridiculously close.
I'm glad that they have that update now with the stars.
Yeah, they have the little icon next to its CP because it's literally just slightly darker.
Well, and we'll see if it's 100% capture rate or not at that point for shiny.
The shiny it will be.
Okay,
they did the same thing for they
did it for the birds, but those were legendaries too that had a harder capture rate. So I'm wondering if they're still going to do 100% or not because it's not a legendary.
That's a good point.
The capture rate is different.
That's a good point.
So we'll see. I guess Asia, that region is always our testing grounds. That's when we first find out. I know I pay attention to the Reddit a lot as soon as it happens,
and I'm always on Twitter,
so we'll know several hours before the Americas know. Europe and all them will know a few hours before they go whether or not it's 100% capture rate.
Yeah.
So
I imagine they will make it that just because they have with the other.
It'd be nice. It'd be
here's the thing, because this is why I think it will be 100% catch rate, because nothing else that has an evolved form has ever spawned as a shiny on a gym, as a raid boss.
Okay.
So the only other raid bosses that are shiny are your base forms and then your legendaries. So I think they will make Gengar, because this will probably be. Well, I guess if they keep Gengar as a raid boss going forward and drop it back to tier 3, I imagine it's still going to have a 100% catch rate. Just because that's what they've done for all the others.
I hope so.
Yeah,
Honestly, I do, but we'll see. It's one of those everything's up in the air, but be on the lookout that day. 3 hours of raids going constantly. Those 2 exclusive moves, you can TM to Shadow Ball. It'd be better.
I will be TMing any of the good ones to Shadow Ball. I'll keep a couple as like the exclusive move set, but yeah, any of the good ones that I have will have Lick Shadow Ball for sure.
Yeah, and then there's shinies. But in other news too, it was just discovered yesterday, going along with the raid things.
It came out a few days ago, but
few days? No,
yeah,
I thought it was on the 30th. It was discovered yesterday.
No, it's the changes were implemented on the 28th.
Okay. Well, there have been changes to the rewards that you receive from raids. More specifically with berries.
Oh, the 27th actually. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. More specifically with the berries. It seems, according to several reports, that you're getting less berries per raid than normal.
But you are getting increased Stardust. So every raid, on the 27th, the raids actually started dropping 750 Stardust regardless of tier. And I noticed that, and I thought maybe it was just a weird glitch that was going on. But then apparently Silph Road did a study, as they always do.
Good old Silph Road.
So they did a study, and not only are we getting 750 Stardust per raid, but we're also getting a reduced number of Golden Berries as rewards. So they say here, the rebalance saw the reduction of certain reward items in exchange for an increase in Stardust. So be careful going forward with Golden Raspberries, and using a star piece will actually bump you up from the normally you would have gotten 750 Stardust, but now that the base is 750 Stardust, you're actually getting 1125 per raid, and that is regardless of tier. And then they also say here that be aware that potions have become less abundant in lower tiers, which I don't really care because I get so many potions it kind of just frustrates me. But these are the updated possibilities as far as what will drop.
And if you don't know how the bundles work for raids, it's, I don't know, it's kind of a little complicated to describe.
It's not real. I mean, basically you get bundles based on the amount of balls that you received for doing the raid, but the friendship bonus balls do not count. So it's basically your damage and your team bonus and gym control are the three factors that go into how many bundles that you're going to unlock. So that means doing raids with I'm on Team Mystic, so that means if I do raids with primarily Mystic players on a blue gym and get max damage, that means I'm going to get the max amount of reward bundles that I can receive. But these are the current bundles. So each of the cells here is one bundle, so you get a chance for single fast TMs, single charge TMs. For legendaries, you've got anywhere between 2 and 3 revives per bundle, 1 and 2 golden raspberries. So that is a significant reduction because you used to get more golden raspberries regardless. You'll always get at least 3 golden raspberries for a legendary raid still. So at the bare minimum, you will get 3 golden raspberries and 750 dust. And then the candies, you got anywhere between 1 to 3, and the potions anywhere from 1 super potion for tiers 1 through 3 to 2 or 3 hyper potions for tiers 4 and 5.
And the bundles, you'll notice that sometimes you'll get, so your charge TMs, you'll get 3 of them, or whatever. That's 3 bundles.
You're getting 3 bundles of
a charge TM.
A single charge TM.
Yeah. So it compounds and it adds up. That's what the berries you can get. You know, you get your guaranteed 3, and then you get maybe 2 bundles. I mean, if you get 7.
If you got 5, if you got 5 bundles, you could end up with basically only golden berries. You know.
Yeah.
So you could get 13 golden berries and 750 dust, and those could be your only rewards.
And if you're looking at the screen, here's the actual chart that shows the changes that you used to get.
So the old bundle, you always got. For the old bundles, you can see how significant it was. So you were always only getting bundles of 1 for tier 1 raids, but tier 2 you got bundles of 2. Now you're only getting 1. Tier 3 you were getting bundles of 2. Now you're only getting 1. Tier 4 you were getting bundles of 3, and now you're only getting 1.
Yeah. So
the only one that drops more than 1 berry per bundle now are the legendary raids, and that only drops 2 instead of in bundles of 3.
Yeah, so the level 4 raids kind of got screwed on this one. If you're doing those, you're way less likely to get golden berries off those. Not quite as drastic when you're doing legendaries. Not too bad. You never really got a lot of berries when you do 2 or 3 levels. It's so the one berry difference isn't that drastic, but
I mean, these do add up when you're getting 1 less per bundle, and sometimes you get like 3 or 4 bundles of berries. So it does, especially for like a tier 4.
Oh, absolutely.
Like that adds up big time. So it will be, just be aware that you are going to have fewer and fewer golden berries, so you're not going to be stacking. You're not going to be stacking 200-300 golden berries by going out and doing raids all weekend. You're going to be getting probably about at most 2/3 of that.
Yeah.
So that's at most. So likely you'd be probably closer to getting about half as many berries. So just be aware that going forward, golden berries have been greatly decreased as far as how they're going to drop from raids. But going into that, they have announced that Adventure Sync, and they've kind of started to roll out exactly what this is going to be and how it is going to track things, and then some rewards that are going to be possible for it.
Yes, so Adventure Sync uses, I believe there's an Apple version, like Apple Fit or Google Fit, Apple Health, sorry, or Google Fit on Android devices. Those are both free applications to use. You don't have to pay money for them. You input, just like any other fitness tracker, you input all your stats. It starts tracking whether you're going on walks or runs. I think it's awesome that they've also included people who are in wheelchairs. The ability for it to track how many wheelchair pushes you're doing.
Really?
So it's allowing those people to actually more accurately get points and things for their motion that they do, because obviously they have more arm strength than I probably do right now, wheeling themselves around. But this description that they gave us initially was just kind of stay tuned. There's not much here, but
it basically just says, hey, we'll use these apps to track your movement, and then you can hatch eggs, earn buddy candy, stuff like that. So,
but thanks to our good friend Thralls, or however you say his name, Thralls. Yeah. He has done more data mining as always, and has come across some evidence. It was in his Twitter thing that in addition to just getting candy and hatching eggs, that there will be kind of tasks or things to complete each week that will reward you with items. So a couple screenshots on his Twitter. Go check it out if you have the chance to. We'll show him here as well. But there are some screenshots.
So these are all the Android previews. So there's no iPhone stuff on here yet.
Yes, Android previews, just because APK stuff tend to come out a little earlier on Android than Apple.
So you can see the option to either enable or disable Adventure Sync. Then you can see that once it's enabled, it will say let Pokemon Go count your steps while the game is closed to help incubate your eggs and find more candy. And then you got to turn it on or no. So I'm sure that will be a prompt that comes on if you have like Google Fit installed on your device and ready to go. This will be the prompt that pops up.
And once this update goes live,
and then it will want you to select your Gmail account, and then make sure that it gives you all the options, deny or allow, for what it's going to do for Google Fit. And then this is the interesting stuff. So not only are we going to be able to get buddy candy and hatch eggs, and it's going to track our steps and stuff like that, but there's also milestones that are going to give us rewards. And it looks like that's going to give us, that's golden berries right there. So it looks like you're going to get golden berries for sure. This is the only preview screen that they have. There may be other things, but I do like this. So there's an actual option probably to see your eggs hatch. So that button right there that says eggs will actually give you the egg animations. So you'll get to see your eggs hatching. I would like one that says skip.
Yeah.
It's
possible. It's possible it may just skip it.
I would like a button that skips the egg animations, because the egg animations are some of the most frustrating things that pop up.
Or
especially when you're out hunting.
Or it'll be one of those where if you have a whole bunch of eggs that are hatching, they won't actually hatch until you click on it. Hence the reason they need push notifications to let you know that eggs are ready to hatch.
Interesting.
To prevent people
But they've never done that before.
They may, though, with this update. We don't know. So that would be a way to maybe encourage people to keep checking the app constantly and making sure that they're actually hatching their eggs when they get to the point.
But it does seem like it's going to be a weekly. So it almost seems like they're going to kind of trigger it into your 7-day streaks and stuff like that. So it's you walked 0 kilometers this week. You've hatched X amount of eggs. You've walked X amount of steps. You've found X amount of candies, and you've burned X amount of calories. So all that is being tracked through Google Fit or Apple Health, and then transmitted to Pokemon Go and translated to kilometers, egg hatching times, and then linked to all these rewards and stuff like that. So,
and we still need to find out whether or not Apple Health and Google Fit can link up to certain peripherals such as Fitbits, Samsung watches. I know I have a smartwatch, a Gear, that constantly has Samsung Health on it and tracks things, but I don't know if I'll be able to sync that with Google Fit or not. I would like to, because as I mentioned to you, there have been a couple times where I was working my job and it was giving me credit where credit was not due. I would be sitting at my desk. I'd be sitting at my desk and it would say that I've hit my 20,000 step goal for the day, but I had been sitting at my desk for about 4 hours at that point, not really traveling too much in the office or walking around. Potentially game breaking as far as helping you hatch eggs faster and or collecting candies by not really doing much.
I did like some of these comments on the Sylph Road, especially where was the one I was laughing at? Hereby finished charts. There, so I've been using Google. It's a response to this one. So I've been using Google Fit for 3 years and not once counted driving as steps. Are you driving walking speed or something? And then it says there's 0 chance of this. I can wave my hand up and down in place and get Apple Health and Google to register as walking distance. When using the Apple Watch, I can get PoGo to register 0.71 kilometers by brushing my teeth for 2 minutes. Then it's capped for an hour or 2. The technology is not there to register correct walking distance using just a fitness tracker. Niantic will not give up tracking distance primarily by GPS. Anybody could hatch dozens of eggs sitting on a couch instead of buying incubators. Niantic doesn't want you to hatch eggs so fast.
Well, and that does bring up
we'll have to wait and see how it actually works.
We'll have to wait to see, because we still don't know how often it's going to sync either, as far as syncing that data and when it's actually going to register. The refresh rate on eggs has been changed so many times when you're using Go Plus and everything else. I think it's up to like 8-minute refresh rate now instead of the normal 4 it was a while back. So it makes walking eggs and everything, it changes everything, because it's possibly missing out on kilometers that you are physically walking when you have a Go Plus, because the game is lagging.
I used to ride my bike. I used to basically play Pokemon Go exclusively riding my bike, and I had so few of those bike kilometers actually counted because I was going too fast on my, because I'd ride at least 10, 12 miles an hour, steady pace, and it just wouldn't track those kilometers. I would ride for like 3 hours and not hatch a single egg.
See,
and this was when the game first came out.
I know. And this is like another reason why this Adventure Sync could be good for some things, that maybe it will more accurately track people's fitness if they are people who walk around often. Maybe it is better. Obviously, there are things that are glitched out. It's not always going to work the same way. It may or may not sync properly all the time, but maybe more on the right pace as far as syncing on a normal level.
Maybe.
Only time will tell. Hopefully, because it'd be really nice. It'd be nice for the people who do maybe walk around a building all day but can't have their Go Plus on them, especially health. Think of all the health industry. You think of nurses and all that stuff. They're walking around constantly.
I probably walk every night at work. I probably walk at least 10,000 steps.
Warehouses, all these things, jobs that people don't have the chance to maybe have their Go Plus on all the time, but having their phone, which they always do, acts as their Go Plus in this format. So we will see.
Yeah, I will definitely be testing this out once it goes live, just because, like I said, I walk a lot for work. So it'd be nice to actually get something that will at least somewhat accurately track distance, whereas even with the Go, because I've tried it with the Go Plus, they tweaked something with the Go Plus where it doesn't track the same anymore. It used to be very good. Now it's not. So we'll have to see. We'll see if they were probably gearing up for this anyway. So and it's just another way for them to get more information about all their users and sell it to somebody else.
They know everything anyway. The government knows everything already. Don't worry about it.
We'll have to wait and just see how this feature works. Well, I mean, that's pretty much everything that we wanted to talk about this week, guys. Leave your comments below what you are interested in for November with all the bug event, for Gengar Day coming up, the new changes to the raid reward system, and Adventure Sync. What are your thoughts? I also have, before I close out, I do have a bunch of codes for Pokemon Sun. I've got Pokemon Ultra Sun, Pokemon Ultra Moon, and then
these are just
Ultra
Moon.
Yeah, these are so I've got codes for either a Kyogre or Groudon that work on Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, or Ultra Moon, and then I also have codes for Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon for Zeraora and Piopal.
Shiny Piopal.
Shiny Piopal. So if you guys are interested in getting a code for, if you have Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, I have a level 100 Kyogre or Groudon code. I only have one of those codes, but I do have 12 of the Zeraora codes at level 50, and I have, I think, 8 or 9 of these Shiny Piopal codes, level 40. And those are for Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. So if you are interested in getting any of those codes, please follow me on Twitter and send me a DM, and I will literally just send you a code for your choice. So like I said, I only have one of the Kyogre or Groudon codes. So if you really want one of those, be sure to follow me and send me a DM as quickly as possible. If you are interested in the Zeraora or the Shiny Piopal codes, also DM me. So yeah, I just got a little stack of these to give away. So I thought this be good a place as any to, offer these up as something kind of cool for you guys that have Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. I know it's not Pokemon Go related per se, but it's tangentially related.
It's same universe.
Yeah,
it's within the same.
It's
realm.
all Pokemon. So if you guys are interested, please follow me on Twitter and send me a DM. The link to my Twitter is in the description below. And that is it for this podcast. I want to thank Forrest for hanging out, being my past Gen 3 Pokemon knowledge base.
Absolutely. I am here for that. We will obviously be covering any updated events that happen. We know that there's going to be some hidden events or something that they spawn on us. And
I'm sure they will do several events throughout November.
And if there's any specific topics you guys want us to talk about that we haven't talked about, maybe that we're just not thinking of, let us know. Comment, do something, because if there's something urgent,
we love you guys, and we want to hear from you.
Yeah, we'd love to hear. We'd love to kind of talk about things. Maybe we can do a viewer question segment at some point if we have enough of those to answer. We'll do whatever we can.
Yeah.
So,
all right, you guys. Thanks for listening to Loco's PoGo podcast, numero
11.
Once. Yeah, I was like, wait. 10, 11, 12.
He's not
13,
Spanish.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay.
Oh dear Lord.
That's it for this week, guys. I can't go anymore. All right. Stay tuned to my YouTube channel for Pokemon Go content. Thank you again, Forrest, a.k.a. Funky Dude 1, for joining me. And until next time, peace, Poke Trainers!